Ladies and gentlemen of the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, we begin today with the topic House Panel. And the reason why I say House Panel is we can't use that date or else it'll set off algorithmic objections and censor. But I have to comment about this committee, the House Panel. And they've come out with this theory that Trump did actually commit crimes. And there was this conspiracy to, quote unquote, overthrow an election. You know what? How you phrase something makes all the difference in the world, doesn't it? Context makes all the difference in the world. They use this overthrow the election when it's really, that's not what Trump was talking about. What Trump has been speaking about, and his supporters have been speaking about, and others have been speaking about, is there's no need to overthrow an election. It was a corrupt election. It is a challenge of an election. That's simple. So it's amazing. It's like they're trying to take the legitimate challenging of an election and turning it into the words overthrow. Just like they call it a political insurrection. I mean, it's just maddening. Joe Biden's State of the Union was the lowest watched first State of the Union by a president in 30 freaking years. Yeah, and he failed anyway. Those people that did watch, he just dug himself a deeper hole. I mean, these people are just drowning in quicksand. The more they move, the more they sink. Remember those Tarzan movies when somebody got in quicksand, you're supposed to relax. You fight, you sink further. They do political quicksand. Zelensky, you know, I've never been a general, okay? I've never been the leader of the State Department, the Defense Department. I've never been president of the United States. But I got it right. I get it right 90% of the time. What did I say that we should have done? I said we should have put NATO tanks on the border and we should have controlled the airspace. What is Zelensky publicly saying now? He's saying it's a shame, it's shameful that the United States did not support him until after the invasion. What else did he say? He's saying we need to control the airspace. And those of you, and including, I hear it from even Lindsey Graham, Sean Hannity, everybody's saying, oh, we can't have American planes, NATO planes over Ukraine because it might be an encounter where we're going to be shooting down Russian airplanes. It's not Russia's country. It's the Ukrainian country. Why do we allow the dictation of that, not from Zelensky and his country, but by Russia? Let's play some games here, some political games. What if it was France? What if it was France? What if it was Germany? What if it was England? Would the United States say, oh, we can't do that because we'd be encountering Russia? Well, that's what's called war. And I'm sorry, folks, I think an American jet shooting down a Russian pilot over Ukraine, a country they invaded, isn't an act of war that would lead to a nuclear holocaust. I think the Russians would stop flying over Ukraine if we would police the airwaves. I mean, it's just this routine political thinking that goes on in Washington, D.C. cracks me up. It's like, well, if this and this happens, this is what you have to do. Meanwhile, we have the largest nuclear power plant in the entire European region being attacked by Russia. Apparently everything's okay. What the hell? You know, they drop just think if a bunker buster or some kind of bomb hit that nuclear reactor, meltdown city. The cooling system stopped. It's unbelievable. The Russian economy, they say, is a train wreck, and there's some discussion that old Putin is going to institute martial law. And I just read before I came on to do my show that the Kremlin is making kids watch propaganda videos that are saying that the whole Ukraine war is misinformation. Think about that. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. Isn't that awful that our government can be compared to how they handle information the same as Putin does? I caught this live when I was working last night. I've been watching Fox News more than normal, obviously, because of the Ukraine, but after like 30 minutes, they just repeat the same stuff and I turn it off. But I caught Lindsey Graham on Hannity saying that he's hoping for an assassination from inside Russia of Putin. I was like, wow. By the way, I agree with him. He says they need another Colonel Stauffenberger. He's the guy that tried to kill Hitler. You know, he's right. The one thing that I thought about, though, is, you know what? My guess is Lindsey Graham's going to need some extra security now. I mean, I was like, whoa. I agree with him. Meanwhile, a Russian billionaire here has put $1 million bounty on Putin. So he's helping out Lindsey Graham a little bit on that request. Oh, Lindsey Graham also invoked the name of Brutus, one of the senators that, of course, killed Julius Caesar. Russian oil. You know what? Old Psaki had to dodge the question, but you know it's bad when even Nancy Pelosi says we need to stop buying Russian oil. How crazy is it? The West is financing the war for Russia against Ukraine. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, it's reported that Joe Biden is thinking of dropping the Iranian sanctions, dropping them, playing footsie with them. You know, there are so many things that just happen, and you think, like those billions in cash and euros that we gave the last day of the Obama administration to Iran. It's just, what the hell? I'm really proud. I want to give it up to Jacob Barton on our team. I nicknamed him the Buddha. He's a smart young fella. Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller. Jacob spoke to him about what was going on in Ukraine, in Russia, and wrote a little article for Bulldog Reports for it. I look like, I'm going to brag a little bit. Everything Scheller said is what I said, that it's another Afghanistan waiting to happen. Good news for the DeSantis family. Casey DeSantis, Ron DeSantis' wife, got a clean bill of health for her cancer. She's cancer-free. Good for her. The NFL has now dropped all COVID protocols. Here's one thing about the NFL owners. They stay woke because of their partners. But people like Jerry Jones and Kraft, can you imagine what they say privately? They're pro-Americans. They don't buy into this BS. They have to play ball with their American communist partners. No more COVID protocols. Gas hit for the first time, $5. And it couldn't have happened any place better. San Francisco. San Francisco paying $5 a gallon for gas. You know, our office is filled with staff members who work by the hour or on a salary. And yesterday, you should have heard the ladies in our office talking about the impact at the grocery store and the gas pump that this inflation has upon them. Folks, I don't live under a bubble. I'm real world. I get it. I mean, it's crazy. Two add-ons that I have to do. One, they apparently are talking about Kamala going to Poland at the Ukrainian border. And I thought to myself, Kamala will go to the border, laugh, and turn back to Russians. I mean, I got Kamala-itis right now. But can you imagine? Do you believe these folks? I mean, the whole Biden administration, from Susan Rice to his chief of staff, these people, I mean, I don't know how our country survives, man. I mean, it is scary stuff. The thing that you can go back and look at the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, and even the Obama administration, and you think to yourself, all the things that they did, it was stupid. but there was at least some semblance that there were some people around that had some kind of experience or wherewithal. His Biden administration, that's a gift that keeps giving the pundits that want to comment about it or make memes. I mean, holy cow. Bill Maher, wow, he's got material to go with. And last but not least, I've ended my last 3 shows with a Thomas Massie story. 2 days ago, it was Thomas Massie's new nickname, Hang 'em Massie, because he's one of 3 congressmen who votes against the anti-lynching law. Then yesterday, it's reported the day before, he votes against, he's one of 3 people who votes against helping Ukraine. It's always some kind of constitutional argument. Look how smart I am. I went to MIT. I have a house that is independent of all, I use solar energy. I mean, he just thinks he's little Einstein. Were you ready for the latest? All right, I got this report that the Northern Kentucky Tea Party event went off the rails. In fact, just to let you know, it was so bad. I got a phone call from a woman who attended that event, and they left because little T.J. Roberts, that little minion that I enjoyed smashing to the ground, that little guy was passing around like a dossier about Claire Worth. And it's so bad. Claire Worth, you saw me interview her. Check it out. Claire Worth is a wonderful person. And they're treating her, I hate to use the word misogyny because that's the left term, but what they're doing to Claire Worth, when they're up 78% to 5%, what they're doing to Claire Worth, if you're a woman in the 4th District, you ought to pause for a minute and say, what's going on here? What is Thomas Massie, Chris Weiss, T.J. Roberts, what's going on here? It is pretty pathetic what they're doing. Now, one of the people that I heard went off the rails at the meeting, and I don't know her, but her name is Carrie Cox, okay? Now, I've just seen the pictures and the information. Carrie Cox is apparently a self-proclaimed witch and tarot card reader. And here's a picture of her and Massie. I thought the 4th District was kind of a Christian district. Well, maybe it's changed. Maybe Thomas Massie, by approving the affair with his field rep with Kamala, Savannah Maddox, Chris McCain and Maddox, maybe Thomas Massie has got this Christian front that really Massie is part of some weird diabolic organization that all of you accuse the billionaires about. Maybe he threw in with Epstein or something. I don't know. But anyway, I can't believe you can't make this up. Thomas Massie's hanging out with a tarot card reader. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great weekend.